Well, hello, welcome to Cheryl's Life, where I am attempting to show you what life can be like after 70. No, it's not over. In many cases, it's just beginning. So come on, take my life's journey with me, and let's have some fun. Okay, let's see what I'm going to share with you today. Well, hello, and welcome to Cheryl's World, the gal that's doing life after 70. Yes, I am. Right now, you're looking at my cycler that was gifted to me by one of my dear, dear friends. If you have been following my channel and you know anything about me, I became immobile in January of this year, to my surprise. Okay. So I have been dealing with some mobility issues for about 6 months now. And this was one of the gifts that I was gifted. Um, what you're going to look at next is me in my compression. Okay, compression socks are supposed to be good for what I was initially diagnosed as, which was lymphedema. I don't think they're sure if that's really what I had, but they treated the symptoms, and one of them is the swelling. Um, and the pain associated with the lymphedema. And so, as much as I fought against them, I am wearing compression socks today. But what I want to say to you today is no matter what is going on with you, if you have the least bit of mobility in your body, keep it moving. I don't care if it's a toe, if it's an eyeball, if it's an arm, if it's a hand. Do not let it defeat you. Continue to work on your body. Give it the best you can give it, and it will give back to you. As I went along my journey, so many changes that are misunderstood. And as I explained them to different healthcare individuals, they had not even heard of anyone with these things. So I remain the mystery woman. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about this story, and then hang on in to the end so you can see me work my way to my garden and water it with limited mobility. Okay? All right, guys, hold on. Okay, guys, so let me tell you really briefly about what happened to me. In October of 2025, I woke up one morning with a swollen leg and a swollen foot, ankle. And I called my doctor, and he said, Cheryl, I want you to go to the emergency room because we want to rule out blood clots. So I did. My husband and I jumped in the car. We went to the emergency room, and I did not have a blood clot. They did the test. They looked at my leg, and I had a little mark on it that was maybe about an inch long. It had been there for a little while, and I was getting some leg cramps at night, but I didn't think that much of it. So they said to me, oh, you probably hit your leg, it got infected, and you have cellulitis. I had never heard of cellulitis, did not know what it was, but I said, okay, they're the doctors, and they say I have cellulitis. So they put me on an antibiotic, and after being on the antibiotic for about a week, my leg was not getting any better. I went back to the doctor, and she looked at my leg, and she said, oh, it looks like it's infected. And my leg had started turning black, and which was really scary because people were saying to me, oh, you could lose your foot, you could lose your leg, and all this kind of stuff. So she put me on a higher dose of antibiotic. I was taking it. My leg was still in pain. It was getting blacker and blacker. And so I decided to go to the emergency room. The doctors that looked, and she told me which hospital to go to where the specialists were. So they looked at my leg, and their response was they had never seen anything like it. Okay, which sounds really strange to me. But they sent a wound doctor in, and she says it's just not making sense. You don't have any what they call weeping. There was nothing oozing from my leg. It has started to get a couple of blisters on the inside of my ankles, and the wound doctor even said, I've never seen anything like this. So the doctor said, well, they put me on 2 days of intravenous antibiotic, because after the oral doesn't work, then they try intravenous, and so that's what they did. He said, I feel like we're just pumping you with antibiotic, and it's not really helping. So he said, I want you to go to the dermatologist. Well, after I went down to dermatology, 2 doctors looked at my leg and said, you do not have cellulitis, you have lymphedema. Long story short, they connected me with the lymphedema clinic, the specialists that are supposed to help you manage lymphedema. Because depending upon what stages, if they say lymphedema is chronic. Some say it's chronic, some people say it can be reversed. The jury is still out on that with me. And so basically they treated my symptoms, the swelling and the pain, we tried to manage. So I had a physical therapist, a lymphedema specialist, and I had nurses coming in weekly. I lost my mobility in January. I had to wait from December to February to get these therapists to come to my home because I could not walk anymore. I lost my mobility in January of that next year. And so we live in a 3-story townhome. I was trapped on the top floor. When I came home, we had a snowstorm here in St. Louis. And I remember we had the snowstorm. My husband came, he picked me up from work. That evening, I went up to the bedroom, which is on the top floor. I got in the bed and I went to sleep. I woke at 3 a.m. in the morning and I had to use the restroom. I could not get out of bed. My legs would not let me stand up. Like my body just shut down within those hours. Now, I had been going to work continuously. I has not stopped going to work. I was going with swollen legs, swollen feet, and the pain. By the time the therapist, let's see, my ankles had blistered out by January. They were blistering. And then they had turned black, and now they had all this black, scaly skin on top of them. It was very scary. But the therapist walked me through the lymphedema, swelling down, and this particular day she came. We were working with compression. I was having difficulty wearing the compression sock, okay? And so this particular day she came and she said to me, Cheryl, we have to get you off this top floor and out of this house. And I was looking at her like, are you kidding me? How in the world are you going to do that? I said to her, have you seen the way I walk? Have you seen me try and get up out of a chair? Let me back up. My husband had to end up buying me a lift chair. He also had to buy me a lift toilet to go on my toilet because I could not get up off the toilet, nor could I get up off the bed. I eventually was able to get up off the bed, but it hurt so bad. I literally have to eject myself off the bed. He eventually put a device on the side of the bed, goes under your mattress, that I could lean on, push myself up out of the bed. And so when I said that to her, she said, yes, I've seen how you walk, and I've seen you try and get up out of your chair. She says, and it's not as bad as you think it is. So she says, when I come next week, we're going to try and get down these stairs. So in my next episode, I'm gonna tell you how we got down the stairs, and I'm gonna put a couple of clips of photos in there of us and how we finally made it. It took a couple of weeks, and then to the car. But yeah, you have to come back and watch my next video on living life after 70, and how I'm getting through my journey with this condition. Okay, all right guys, so hang in there so you can watch my video of me watering my flowers with limited mobility. Okay, you're gonna find it funny. All righty, I'll see you guys. Hang in there, it's coming. All right, bye-bye. Okay, so now you can see I've loaded the water onto my walker, and I'm gonna use it to transport the water to my deck. And I may have to make a couple of trips, but that's okay, as long as I can get the water to the plants. When you lose your mobility, what you don't want to do is stop doing things. Sit down and figure out a way to do it. Well, there goes one jug of water. You witnessed it when I went over the bump. It kind of jarred it loose. Huh? I dropped a bottle of water. And so, look at that. It's leaking on the rug and everything. So let me get this up, and I'll get right back to you guys. Oh, dear. Okay, so I repositioned the water. There is a pouch that I have hanging in the front of my walker, so I put that container of water down in there. And this one I was able to kind of hold steady with my hand. This is the one I wasted water on the carpet, but it will dry. All right, so we're gonna make our way out this door, and then we're gonna go out and water these plants. Okay, so I'm gonna put some shoes on, and then we're gonna go out here and take care of business. Okay, so we made it out here. Water jugs and all. So we're gonna give these babies some water. Oh, look at that breeze. Now it's in the 90s out here, but there's a nice breeze coming up off of here. This large pot is not that dry. I felt it. You can kind of see the dirt has a little dampness in it, so I guess the rain drops must have geared their way toward that plant. This second one is dry, so we're gonna put some water on it. And I may have to do this in stages because This doesn't hold very much water. I don't want to drown. This one looks wet too. Let me see. No, it could take a little water. We've been getting rain, but I didn't think. I figured these would be dry. Ooh, what a beautiful breeze. Okay, so we got 4 of them watered. We got 1, 2, 4 left. Because you guys know in the middle, I put all silk flowers. See there? To fill them in. But they're not doing bad. I thought they would be drying up. But if I had been watering them probably more consistently, they would have done a little better. Let's see. Yeah, the dirt is not bone dry. It's got some moistness to it. Let's pick these little babies off of here. I'm so proud of them. If you don't know, and this is your first time visiting me, these were a gift from my sister. We normally get free flowers during the summer from the complex we live in, but this year we didn't get them. And so, yeah, she brought me these flowers. Not only did she bring them to me, she planted them. I was sitting there and she said, oh sis, I'm gonna go out and throw these in real quick. And I'm like, what? She said, oh yeah, it won't take any time. Oh God, there goes a wasp. I think I'm gonna be heading in the house. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for my update on my flowers. Yep, I got 4 more to do, and I can do them now or I can wait and do them later on. But yeah, all right. So if you have a deck with some space, a lot of times people don't have a yard, but they have a deck or a balcony, and you can put some pots up here and plant it. Pot is so beautiful. Last year I had vegetables all across here. I had my flower plants on the end, and I put my veggies in the middle so that the animals couldn't get up here and crawl and get in them. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna head in, get some more water, and finish this job. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.